Good day, everybody. David Collins Stevens here, and welcome to our How to Replace a Retrofit Something That's Door video. The viewer in this video will acknowledge that this company or any person involved in the production of this video will not be held liable in any way for any projects completed by the viewer. Always check with their local city building department before starting a project to ensure that you are following current building codes and city ordinances. Take all safety precautions at the start, make sure all tools are working properly, and all safety features installed and also working properly. That being said, come on, everybody, here we go! Hi, David Collins Stevens here, and this time we're going to learn how to install a retrofit sliding glass door. Very easy to do, and we'll take you each step of the way once again. So we'll flip the camera around and get started. So this is the vinyl retrofit door that we've pre-ordered, and we've had it delivered here. We moved it to the deck. We have everything ready so that we can do this pretty much in a day. This is the existing door we're going to be pulling out. So when we measured this existing door, you always measure width first and then height. That's how most companies order a door, is from width to height. So we measured from the flange inside the opening, the furthest flange inside. There are several flanges. There's some back here too. Right now these are all even, but sometimes one of these will stick out more than the others. So you would measure from this inside flange across to this inside flange. And that is your width of your new door, except you do take off a half an inch. So you have a 1/4 inch gap each side. So when you give this measurement to your supplier, let's say it's 76 inches, you're going to order a door that's 75.5 inches, leave you a 1/4 inch. Same thing on the height. Height will be your second measurement you give your door supplier. And you measure from the bottom of the sill, which is right here, all the way up to the, once again, the flange. It sticks out the most. Sorry, having a hard time here. Oh, here we go. That would be this flange right here. That sticks into the opening the most, and that was about, I think it was 78 inches, so we went 77.5. So it gives you a full half an inch, both width and height. You want that gap for a couple reasons. One, in case this existing frame is not square, it gives you room to square up your new door. And then the second reason is you just don't want it so tight that you end up having to cut flanges to get your door in. It makes it very difficult. So we'll get started. We're back. So we removed both panels out of the door. The sliding panel, you just basically lift it up. Sometimes you have to roll up the rollers. You lift it up and pull it out at the bottom, and then it should just come right on out of the frame. And then you also do that with a stationary panel. Sometimes there are screws right here in the side that will hold it in. You release these screws, you slide it to the center, and then you just lift it up and out. Now this particular door has got an alarm system on it right here. So we are going to remove that, cut the wires, feed it through the hole there, and just have the wires hanging out so the alarm guy can come back and reinstall that. And then we've covered up the furniture with plastic, of course. We're going to put some drop cloths down before we do the next process, which is going to be to remove this bottom track. Probably the hardest part of the job is removing this track. You cannot put your new door on this track. It will not work. The side jam and the top jam, they stay. And then the bottom track comes out. So we'll continue on in a few minutes. So this is how you remove the bottom track. You cut off that little flange right there, so you get a Sawzall blade in there. You need to cut all the way through. There are screws going up through the bottom track into the side track. You need to cut those screws on both sides. Pull out any screws along the track here. There's a couple, like there's one right there. Just remove those. We'll cut this side, and then this bottom flange will lift right out. That's how you do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this concrete here, we're going to sweep it out, and we're going to clean it up really good, probably sponge it off, because we're going to take this stuff, which is called Jiffy Seal. It's sticky on one side, it's got this film on the other side that we're going to peel back. We're going to put this on here, put 2 layers on there. It helps keep the lime in the stucco and the concrete from eating up your vinyl sill. It's very bad. So, but you also want to do another thing. Take your level, put on here to make sure you're fairly level. Fortunately, this one is, so so we don't have to worry about it. But sometimes if they're a little bit off, you can take your Jiffy Seal and you can put like little sections of it. Start with like a 1 foot piece and a 2 foot piece and a 3 foot piece, and it will raise one side very slowly so that you can actually level this with a very solid base. It's very good stuff. So that's it. We're going to clean this up. Put our we're going to dry fit the door after we get our Jiffy Seal down, and that's when we'll take our next step. Thanks, bye. Okay, we're back and we have our Jiffy Seal in place. We left that film on it so that we can dry fit the door. You take that film off, the Jiffy Seal is really sticky. So leave that film on until you are ready to set the door. The other thing I forgot to mention, I'm going to mention it now, is we pulled the latch off of this existing frame so it's not in our way. And so when we screw through the new frame into this old frame, the latch is not in the way. The other thing on this vinyl door, it did come with a fin on the bottom of it. Very typically there's a fin on the bottom of these doors. That's a nailing fin. Sometimes you use that in applications where you have a raised floor and you can nail that fin onto the foundation. Or onto the sill plate, whatever. A wood member. But basically, we're going to cut it off. It doesn't hurt the door. And what it does, if we cut it off, we've got a concrete foundation here. It's already painted. And actually, if we left that fin on there, you would see it. You can fasten it with some concrete nails, but really no reason to do it, and it looks pretty bad. So we're cutting it off to make it look a lot better. And we'll talk to you soon. Okay, so we've cut the flange off the door. Dry fit it, works pretty good. So we took the film off of our Jiffy Seal. And now what we're going to do is we're going to apply a bead of silicone all around the side, right on the edge, and on the top, right on the edge, and then on the other side, right on the edge. And we're going to put 2 beads of silicone or Volcom down on this plate right here to help seal the entire door. Once we get that done, we're going to put the door into place. Then we're just going to screw it in through the side jambs. It's all very easy. I'm sure you can do it. The only thing I have to be careful of is utility knives, because every once in a while you do this and you end up working all day with a band-aid on your thumb. So there we go. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, thought I'd take a minute to show you. This is our fulcrum in place. Did a pretty big bead in the corner because don't want the leak there. A couple beads all along the sill. Another big bead in the corner. And we put silicone right around the edge. And what's going to happen when we put this door into place, our flange, which goes on the outside of the stucco, I'll show you that right now. The flange on this door right here is going to squish right against that. Make a nice tight seal, and then we're going to screw the door into place, which I will stop and show you how to do that. So here we go. Okay, so we've got our shims in place with screws. You can see those there. And basically what we're doing now is we brought in our sliding panel and we put that into place. Normally a sliding panel is you put the top in first and lift the bottom into place. There's 2 holes right here to adjust the rollers. After it's in, you raise the rollers a little bit so it slides nice and easy. And after it's in, you check it out by sliding it almost closed. You see that gap right there? You want to make sure that gap is pretty much even at the top and at the bottom. That lets you know that you have adjusted your door right. So I closed a little bit there so you can see it's like a 1/16 inch gap right there. We come down to the bottom and it's a little less than a 1/16 there, so we're going to adjust it a little bit more. But now that we've got that in place, now we're going to screw, whoops, almost dropped you. Screw the latch down, and then basically we're done except for trimming it out. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, so we've got our shims in place around the latch. We always use a lot of shims around the latch. Now we're going to cut these off. As you can see up here, we cut them off. And a little dark, but maybe we'll go down to the bottom. Might be a little bit lighter down there. As you can see, we cut them off right on past the flange on the door. Don't want to cut it past that flange to the door side because then the shims won't work anymore. Let's see if we got a better picture over here. I did cut these off too. There we go. This is actually a little bit better. You can see how it's resting on this outside flange right here. Don't want to cut it past that because then the shim will just fall out. But that keeps your door nice and straight, nice and strong. And then we did put 1 screw on the top. I don't know if you can see it. But trust me, it's there. It holds the top up, keep the head real nice and straight. So that's it. So now we're going to trim out the inside. And we have a easy solution for trimming out the inside, which I'll show you. We're cutting some bats right down to do that, and then we'll continue on. Okay, so we're back, and we're going to take these 1x2 bats like this, and we'll pre-drill them for these deck screws. These are 1.25 inches. And they are going to mount right in this corner right here, all the way up and down from top to bottom. I've done the right hand side so you can see it all the way from top to bottom. Just 4 screws should be enough. What we'll do is that gives us a base for our double stick tape and put on some vinyl corner molding to seal up this corner, make it look real good. And then we'll also do the same along the top. So I will show you when we're a little bit further along with a piece of molding in place. So here we are, we have our 1x2 bat in place, and this is the plastic we're putting on. This is a 2-inch this way. It was 2-inch this way, but we took a table saw and we cut it down to about 1 3/8 inches, because that's what works to put it on basically from right here and wrap and go like that. So what we do, make sure that's clean, and then we put on double stick tape like this. We have one layer on this side over here, and we have like 2 layers on this side because this board was recessed a little bit back from the edge of the existing flange. So we put that all the way up on the board from top to bottom, and then it will just stick on. This is a piece that we put on, finished piece. There we go. Lights a little better on this side of the room. And that's basically what it looks like. You notice we're not quite snug against the window right there, but what we'll do is we'll put some white caulk in there. You cannot adjust the existing door frame, and sometimes they're not put in straight. This one was not, so we'll adjust it with a little bit of caulk. It'll look great. So we'll put tape on this side, we'll put it all together, and we'll be back to you in just a little bit. Okay, here we go. We're done with this door. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to put a clear bead of silicone around the outside edge here between the flange and the stucco. But we want to let it settle for a day. As it gets hot and cold, it will move a little bit. It's better to wait on the silicone. We use basically just glass cleaner on the frame and on the glass. And then every once in a while, you can use lacquer thinner to get that glue that's usually on the glass. Notice how easy it slides. So if your door does not slide that easy, do not use silicone on it or WD-40 or anything like that. It usually means you've done something wrong. So some common causes of it not sliding right would be your rollers are not adjusted properly. Sometimes the frame, the sill, is actually bowed, and that'll cause the door to stick. Or sometimes the header will drop down, and that's why we put that screw in the top to keep it from doing that. So this is what the inside looks like with all the trim on it. We're going to put the blinds back on it, and we're doing another door tomorrow, so we'll review this video tonight. If we forgot anything, we'll pick it up tomorrow. So, or you can always Facebook us or email us anytime, and we'll answer any questions for you. So that's about it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next project. Bye-bye.